Atma Namaste, precious person. Welcome to another Monday. This is Magical Mondays, and I'm your host, Avril Q. Welcome to my channel, Avril Q's. So, last week I started a new series in preparation of 2023. And last week we spoke about the probably reasons why you don't succeed. Today we're talking about the reasons you probably don't take action, or why you don't take action on your goals. You have a goal in front of you, but you don't know how to translate it into reality. And that's because you don't take action, right? Because, like they say, every dream is a pipe dream unless you take action on it. So, for any plant to grow, once you plant a seed, you can't expect it to just grow. You have to water it, you have to see the soil conditions, you need a little bit of nurturing. So, you have to take action to make the plant blossom. The same way, the plant also has to make that effort to blossom and to grow. So it's the same with you and me. We may have goals, we may have dreams, we may have ambitions, and they all may be in our head only, and we're not seeing any traction in terms of taking it forward. So today we're going to talk about the different reasons why you may not be taking action. So for those of you who are new to my channel, please click that subscribe button and subscribe. Turn on notifications so you get notified because I do a lot of content on law of attraction, energy, coaching, therapy, because I'm a certified coach and a certified therapist. So we talk about all the different probable ways in which we can help you take your life to the next potential by consciously creating your reality. So these are maybe some of the reasons why we don't take action. Number one, fear. So I've written a book on fear. I'm going to put the link in the description. You know, the 7 key fears and how fear can set you free. Now, fears can stop you from doing a lot of things because the brain is wired to keep you safe, and if it detects a threat in the environment, it will naturally stop you from taking action because it fears for your life. So fear keeps you stuck because of a perception of something that's going to be detrimental to your existence, to your life. And so a lot of fear stems from something that's happened in the past. Childhood conditioning. It could be the fear of failure, the fear of success, the fear of unworthiness, the fear of not being good enough. And I keep talking about this all the time. And that's why I do energy therapy with people, because fear is definitely something that needs to be worked with the therapy angle, because it requires a lot of deep diving into the root cause of the fear. So, the number one thing could be fear, and most people have a fear of success or failure and they're not even aware of it. So, when you're not aware that you have fear, then you're constantly stuck, or you may know that you have fear, but you don't know, or you can't go forward because you don't know how to go forward, and you don't have anybody to help you to go forward. You don't have a therapist or a psychologist or a counselor or even a psychiatrist to help you to go forward. So, fear is the number one cause why people stay stuck. Now, for other people, it could be a lack of focus, and a lack of focus could be many things, right? Because you may be watching a lot of these videos on YouTube, you may be on Quora, you may be on different platforms trying to find out what to do. But then after getting all this knowledge, you may have an overwhelming amount of knowledge that you can't focus on something, on one thing, and take it in the right direction. The other reason could be is you're just scattered and you don't have focus. You have something that we call shiny object syndrome, which means any shiny thing, any distraction distracts you. So, instead of being like a horse with blinders on and going straight forwards, you're looking at every single thing along the way, and then you're gravitating or you're moving towards it. So the focus or the end goal is not in sight because everything is distracting you. And this we can help through techniques like mindfulness, by mindset reset training, which I do. So I teach a course called Mind Your Mind for individuals and non-corporate cohorts, and Mind Your Business for CXOs and individuals in that space, and for corporate cohorts. So we teach two different things, and that is called Mind Your Business. Because if you're not focused and if you can't mind your own mind, then how can you mind your business? So all productivity, all focus that's needed for productivity and for profit and for success and for happiness comes from being focused. So, mindfulness is a great tool to help us to stay focused. So, think about it. Where are you losing your focus? How is your focus scattered? Do you have an overwhelming amount of knowledge or are you scattered by shiny object syndrome? Just think about those two things. Number three could be underconfidence. Now, a lot of people have issues about confidence. The inability to speak in public, the inability to share their emotions with people they even love, the inability to stand on a stage and talk, the inability to pitch their ideas. Or people are underconfident about approaching somebody if they like somebody to go out on a date. And so when you have a lack of confidence means you're not too sure about who you are and what your capability is. So that will definitely tie in unfavorably with your goal. So if you're underconfident of yourself as a person, how can you achieve your goal? Because if there's a saying, how you do one thing is how you do everything. And so if you're underconfident in one area of your life, it definitely permeates into the other areas of your life. So think about it. What is your area of underconfidence? How can you get out of that area? You can get out of that area through a coaching conversation. You can have a coach, or you can talk to a friend who can give you good advice. You can talk to somebody like a mentor or somebody who you respect. Find out where you are lacking confidence and then work on it. Because unless you're confident of who you are, what you want, where you want to go, and unless you can clearly see that picture, it's going to be very difficult for you to reach your goals. Because goals require laser focus and absolute self confidence and holding back from, getting thrown off the chosen path or the chosen course. Number four is overthinking. We've all heard the term paralysis by analysis because we overthink. And I've done an Instagram reel on this about overthinking. You keep on thinking and thinking and thinking, and then you think some more, and then you think some more, and then you want it to be perfect. And you want it to be absolutely in your mind, you want it to be flawless, and you never take action. But nothing can be flawless in life. You are going to have bumps along the way. You are going to have challenges. You are going to have hurdles. Your plan might change. So, by keeping it in your head, you're not doing anybody any favors. You're not doing yourself a favor because you're not moving towards your goal and you're denying the world a chance to partake in your success. Or supposing you're creating something, you're denying the world a chance to actually enjoy your creation if you're inventing something that's going to help humanity. So nobody, whether it's a Steve Jobs or an Elon Musk or whoever, nobody sought perfection in their minds before they put it out into action. In fact, it was the opposite. They tried and tested different things that they were thinking about, and then they worked out all the mistakes and all the things that would go wrong, and then they perfected it along the way. So don't get stuck in your head. Move into action. So the next one is having the illusion of time. We human beings think that we have all the time in the world to do what we want. But if COVID taught us anything, if I learned anything from COVID, one of the things was that time is not elastic and we can go anytime. Our time can come anytime to leave this earth. So if you close your eyes and visualize your goal and really get into it in the way I've shown you how to visualize in weeks prior to this video, you can go through the playlist in the show notes or I'll link it up here. And if you really think about how does your goal feel, where will you be, what will you be doing, how will it smell, how will it taste, what will you hear, how will you feel emotionally, really getting into the goal. And you feel emotionally satisfied, joyous, gratitude. When you feel all these things and then you cut back into reality and think, why am I wasting time when I can feel this sooner rather than later? That will propel you towards your goal. It's one of the ways that could propel you to take action on your goal. Because when you can feel good and feel fulfilled and feel happy, why are you waiting on it? Because your goal is going to do that for you. So link your goal to an emotional state. Number five is not knowing what we want. Yes, it's very possible that a lot of us don't know what we want, or we get confused with what we want because we haven't gone 7 levels deep. And this is a process that I teach, how to go 7 levels deep. Now, when you don't know what is it you want because you're not too sure about the efficacy of the goal, because you're not sure about your ability, because you're not sure about, you keep asking why, till you go 7 levels deep, then sometimes you don't know what you want because you don't know who you are completely. You don't know what your aspirations are fully. You probably, have not really focused on your purpose. And you can do all of these with someone's help. But the bottom line is that you don't know what you want, or you get sucked into other people's agendas, your family, your spouse, or your partner, or your children, or your parents, or your in laws, or your boss, or sometimes even a startup can suck a lot out of you. And you end up thinking, like, I'm not too sure what I want. What is it that I want? And that can be very, very unfulfilling. Life can be a drag because can you imagine going through life not knowing what you want? And each of us has a purpose in life. We are brought to earth with a purpose. We have a purpose. That purpose could be simply who we are or what we bring to the table, what we do in life. The next one is tied very similarly into this. We had a goal in the past, and now we're not sure whether that goal is the same goal that we want. Because you evolve as a person, you change as a person, you grow as a person. And so because you've had failure, because you set a goal and you didn't accomplish it, or you grew out of the goal, or the goal you realized was not meant for you, you start blaming yourself and you start thinking, oh my God, I didn't even do that. So now how am I going to do this? And it's too tedious. I have to set another goal, or I'm not too sure whether I'll be able to set the right goal. So you see, there are a lot of things happening. And it tends to make you stuck. You freeze in that moment because you're not sure, and then you never ever go further and take the action that's required to even frame a new goal. Like, my goals have changed a lot in life. I was in show business, and then I came into therapy, and then I said, okay, now I want to get into coaching, and then I want to get into online coaching. And then, so I started off with a corporate background in terms of coaching. I started off with therapy and yoga in a B2C segment, but now I do it for corporate. So my goals have changed and I have evolved as a person. And so I've been able to change those goals along the way. But it does take a lot of deep diving. It does take a lot of work. And it's work that anybody could do. Anyone can do this work. But the question here is, are you willing to do it? And do you know yourself well enough so that you can do it? So again, I just want to reach out and say at this point, I provide content, free content every Monday, 12 a.m. Indian Standard Time. I'm a certified therapist, a certified coach, a certified mindfulness trainer, a certified Kundalini yoga and meditation teacher. And the reason I'm stressing on certifications is a lot of people have self-help channels and do a lot of things, and more power to all of us. But certifications matter because we know how to handle people either from in the therapy space, or in the coaching space, or in the mindfulness space, or in meditations, or in yoga. And we take responsibility because of our ethical duty to provide the best and safest care for a person who is under our care. So do check this out, send it to other people, share this content with other people who can't afford a coach or a therapist or a trainer, and spread the word and pay it forward. The last thing that I want to talk to you about is childhood conditioning. And this is a big one. People don't take action because of childhood conditioning that may have happened to them even 40 years ago. They're stuck. There is some unresolved trauma that they haven't solved in their life, which is playing out again and again and again through procrastination, through fears, through insecurities, through living other people's agendas. It can all stem from childhood. And this is something that you really need to think about. What was your childhood like? How were your parents? How were your caregivers? How were your peers? Who were your role models? How was the education system? How were your teachers? Think about any kind of thing that doesn't make sense to you, or where it's not fitting correctly. That could be the key for you. So that's all the time we have for today. Like I always say, stay true to being you because you matter. Click the link below, the show notes below, find all my free content, Sign up for my mindfulness webinar and watch out for my brand new course on Teachable that's coming soon. Stay true to being you, my precious person, and I'm Avril Q.